and welcome back. Lindsay Murdoch is with us. Everybody has been so excited about this show. How long have we been talking about this? I think since like your blog post in March.
Before. Definitely before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have had so many conversations, you guys, like just sitting around a table outside the kitchen, like, can we do it yet? Can we do it yet? Is it time? Is it time?
When are they going to work on the effects? When's it going to be ready?
Yeah, it turns out that it's not just you all by yourself making these. And
yep, not just me.
All right, so we talked about 3 new Legendaries.
Yes. So I'm going to be showing...
We want to see them!
Our 3 new Legendaries.
Can I say that your characters are beautiful?
Thank you.
They're lovely.
I made them special for this.
Yay!
So we are going to start with the new axe.
We could just do this for a little
yes,
while.
let's, okay.
All right.
Well, why don't I talk a little bit about the story of our new axe?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I got a list here.
Yeah.
So you're good.
So for this new axe, the primary theme to the art and the model is these celestial bodies and this mechanism that's kind of creating a portal to look into the stars. So for our 3 themed collections, here we go. Let me just do some magic. Make sure it is daytime.
Oh, okay.
So here you can see my my footfalls. My sweet, sweet footfall.
Oh my gosh.
First I wanted to show you guys what it's going to look like if you only are equipping 1.
That is really, really shiny.
Yeah. I love it. So you can see we've got this gorgeous arm effect that comes up. Now let me hit some stuff.
Is there a moose to be found at all here?
There's a MOA. I generally don't like to beat on poor defenseless MOAs, but I like the lighting here, so
That's fair.
here's our
You could have had a moose.
Come here to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, he's good.
Boom. So for our themed collections, we kind of start off with some ancient knowledge that you'll be seeking specific to astronomy. You'll be looking into the Jotun, who are kind of were sort of our first ancient astronomers. So you'll be sort of finding researching around the globe, taking rubbings of Jotun runestones, things of that nature.
Nice.
Then you're going to move into, in collection 3, you'll be working on sort of creating a device that's used for star charting. In collection 4, you're going to be kind of powering up your device and then also building star charting gear, and then going around and actually charting constellations. So our own original Tyrian constellations.
I like this. I like the theme of star charting.
Yeah, we were pretty happy with that.
Okay, so how many people did it take to come up with and finalize this theme? I'm super curious. Oh, my word.
Now I'm wielding 2 of them.
What?
Which is,
So is it like
pretty sweet.
Just you?
Huh?
Was it like just you?
Goodness, no.
Lindsay's like, I'm blinded by how beautiful they are.
I'm too busy looking at the pretties.
Okay, so while I'm right there with you.
So we always start off this process with, well, I suppose you could say it starts with the art. We know what it looks like. We know kind of a feel for the visuals. We don't necessarily have the models yet, or we might have something that's partially completed, hasn't gotten its full effects yet. Then myself and a group of designers from the rewards team and occasionally some special guests kind of hole up in a room for an hour to talk about it, to talk about what kind of themes we could see being in the 3 collections.
Nice.
and how those collections kind of build on each other. And then once we kind of have determined the themes, we think about things all over the game that fit into those themes, and just kind of get like a nice brainstorm going on that. Then for most of these, it was Andy McLeod and I would go off, and we kind of divvied them up between the two of us, and we took our themes and we took our basic kind of actions that have been brainstormed, and we run around the game. We spent a lot of time in game. I know a lot of people saw me running around in game because I like to do my research on live, and I even did things like put myself through the actions that I was expecting a player to do. So if, for instance, I wanted somebody to complete a particular jumping puzzle. I'm not super awesome at jumping puzzles, so I thought I was a pretty good gauge for whether or not it was reasonable to ask somebody to do it. So I would actually make myself do the jumping puzzle, or make myself find a torch and go kill stuff with it, or things like that.
So now that you say that about huddling in a room, I'm remembering walking into a room with a whiteboard for a meeting.
Yes.
And I looked up, because I think I messaged you. Yeah.
This was for Hope. Yeah.
Was this for Hope?
This was for Hope, which I'm going to next.
The thing that stood out to me, I'm looking at the whiteboard going, what happened in here? Because there's just random stuff written everywhere. And at the top right-hand corner, it said, kill everything. So I finally got back to my desk and I messaged Lindsay. I was like, did you just have a meeting in this room for Legendaries? I just want to sit here and look at your armor and your weapons forever.
Must-do's. So.
Nice.
Show the weapon only real quick. And then I'm going to switch to Hope, our pistol. So we do these brainstorms, then we go off and kind of individually find a bunch of stuff, and then we kind of come back together once a certain amount of those have been designed on paper, and we kind of do a review with a similar group of people who are in the brainstorm, go over everything that we want to put in the collections, and kind of say, well, I think this might have too many of this type of thing. Let's try to shift it this way, or this seems a little bit tricky for a player to kind of understand, or whatever, and kind of just do a quick pass on them to make sure that we're happy with what we have, make any adjustments that we need to, and then move on to the next. I mentioned in my last blog post that we had to be really clever about how we built these, because we were on, well, not a short amount of time, but a short amount of time for what we were trying to build. Oops, I don't want to be here because the lighting is crazy.
And there are things that we want to leave a surprise for now.
Oh, there we go. I don't know how to use non-ergonomic keyboards. I'm so bad at it.
We were talking about this right before Lindsay came in. She switched to an ergonomic keyboard and learned how to type on that
years ago. Yep. And now I can't use regular keyboards.
We give her a flat keyboard and it just ruins everything for her. Okay, you have to get those chests because they're driving me crazy.
What chests? Oh, my bouncies?
Yep.
There's going to be too many of them. You don't want to actually do that. I'm sorry.
All right, see, you guys, I tried.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay, you can just distract me with that.
So, my sweet, sweet footfalls. These are one of my favorite.
And this is Hope, the pistol.
This is for Hope. Yep. So first, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're wielding one. Boom.
Ow.
Yeah.
This is the one I've been looking forward to since I first saw it.
Really?
Yes. I want this. My thief, she does not even use pistols right now, but I want it anyway. Oh. That is amazing.
I love that. And then,
all right,
swap. So shiny. So
holy
very
cow.
shiny.
Yeah. That is amazing.
So the story for this guy is all about kind of you start off sort of apprenticing yourself to a Hylic. I don't really need to kill them, though. I mean, I just want to show you the shinies. So you start in Collection 1 apprenticing yourself to a Hylic alchemist and kind of learning the basics of Hylic alchemy and potion making and testing out those skills. Then in Collection 3, oh, look, sweet.
You're a trash collector. Yay!
You'll be looking at more kind of Asuran technologies and researching those and kind of bringing that knowledge together in Collection 4, where you're going to kind of meld the two concepts together. You're going to sort of make these two tubes, the red tube and the blue tube, and which are, I believe it's an alchemical catalyst and transcendent energy, and which, when brought together, much like epoxy, creates something new, a violent reaction that is what you are firing. And then you will also be, in Collection 4, crafting a catalytic converter to make it not so dangerous to yourself.
All right, so what's the pattern on the footfalls? I can't figure it out.
You can't figure it out? They're switching color.
So we had like blue, 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 red.
Yeah. So our artists, we don't really have tech to be able to like cleanly swap from one thing to another. So they were tricksy about it. So there's not really any pattern. It's just going to kind of swap back and forth.
Then I'll stop trying to figure out the pattern and
between
it's
red
driving me
and
crazy.
Blue. Yeah.
Nice.
So this is our our pistol.
All right, so I have a question for you that we were kind of looking at your guys' questions over the past week or so, and I have a question because you have 2 of this pistol.
Yes.
Do you know what's coming?
Yes, I do.
All right. I want to make 2 precursors so I can make 2 of these pistols.
Now that we have the wardrobe, you can skin any pistol with this pistol once you have it. So that kind of covers your ability to dual wield the art. Of course, all the effects come with it when you skin something. But I think people are wondering about 2 things. There's kind of the stat select functionality of a legendary, and there's also the title Twice Told Legend. Twice Told Legend is only going to be acquirable by crafting 2 of the set 1 legendaries. You won't be able to get it with any future legendary weapons. Okay. So there's that. But we do recognize that people tend to want to get those sweet stat selecting items. It's really nice to be able to just switch your stats on the fly. That's definitely a really attractive thing about legendaries. So we're working on a way for people to, once they have crafted, say, Hope, to unlock a recipe to be able to craft kind of a naked legendary. So just to get that stat selecting item. I'm not sure when that will go in, but that's kind of what we're working on.
So it's not that we just didn't think of it. It's
no,
that we are working on this.
We are working on it.
All right, because I'm going to need 2 of these.
Well, I mean, like I said, once you get 1, you got the skin.
I want 2 of the actual. Look, I just really like this, okay?
I see. Okay.
All right, so what else we got?
I'm going to show the staff now, and I know people are really interested in staff melee and how this staff looks in melee. So I have one on this lovely lady.
Yay.
Oh, goodness.
While you do, I'm going to just come over here and
cough.
Excuse me, while you do that. Now she's got the right stats.
Now I'm good. All right. So this is Nevermore. I really, really love this staff, you guys.
It is absolutely gorgeous. You guys
really
did such a good job with it.
Really love it.
I don't think I noticed before the effects spiraling down, and I have been eyeballing this thing for a long time.
These guys,
Yep.
these nice little runes here,
That looks
they get
awesome.
even cooler when I pull it out.
Check it out.
Let me just do that, pulled back a little bit. So as you can see, my little
your-
pet raven becomes a spirit raven once wielded. And one of my favorite little touches is these little spirit birds that kind of flow up the...
Oh, I didn't notice they were
the shaft.
birds.
Oh, it's so cool.
Cool.
All right.
When
well,
I noticed when you started
whack some
wielding
things.
it, you have like a little flock of ravens up top.
Yeah, so there is a, I'm not sure if I'll be able to really, there, you can kind of see them. You'll see some of those, you'll see them when you wield the weapon, pull it out. They kind of swoop down a little bit, and you'll also see them a little bit on the projectile. But let me... So, a lot of people, I think, thought that this staff in melee would be a little bit silly. Yeah, I mean, sure, there's some like twiggy stuff going on, but I think it works out just fine. These guys aren't meaty enough for me. I need something bigger. I need to kill something bigger.
You're in Caledon Forest, so
I know.
You're going to have to lower the bar a little bit. Just wow,
Damn,
I really
I'm so
love the
powerful.
Daredevil. All right, here's a Risen.
But I think the streaks are really cool. I don't think it feels particularly bad when you're whacking something with this guy. It's still pretty friggin' sweet.
It is, and
Yeah.
I like the footfalls. They're subtle.
Oh yes, so
They look good.
the ever important footfalls. Are
Some of us have never had a
spirity-
legendary and are still very excited about footfalls.
You can see little fluffs of spirit feathers popping up. I should also show off my sweet arm effect.
Oh my God, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Now let me hop to my Mesmer, because she shows this guy a little bit better.
So I already have the staff picked out for my thief, but now I really want this one too.
Yeah, I really love Nevermore. It came out incredible. We have had the base model for a while. People found it a while back because somebody loved it so much they set it up on a test item, which put it straight into the DAT. But we didn't get the effects until much more recently, and I think the effects just really take it
The
to
effects
another
make
level.
it. They absolutely make it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you pointed out all of these little touches because I didn't notice the little trail of birds going up there, and I
yeah.
hadn't seen the runes before. So, all right, so let's see what it looks like ranged. Your character looks amazing. Again,
Thank you.
she looks lovely. Awesome. Hey! Oh, wow.
So now you can see the awesome projectile. I particularly like how it's bouncing between the dummies. I spent a decent amount of time just staring at this yesterday.
It's so beautiful.
I love the projectile. It came out really great. You can also see there's some ravens that swoop down to kind of meet it as it flies out. Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
And again, there's this really cool arm effect.
There's a lot going on, and it manages not to be too busy.
Yeah.
That was a hard balance to strike, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow, there are a lot of you right now.
there are 3 of me, which I like, especially if I'm trying to show off a projectile, might as well.
Yep.
Wow. So,
Okay, I love
this is
it.
Nevermore. The story for Nevermore is kind of taking this spirit and a raven and melding them together. So in the beginning, you kind of have to start small and sort of prove that you're a friend of nature, because this is a nature kind of spirit thing. So you kind of go around doing things to protect nature around the world. Then in Collection 3, you're going to you're chasing down this raven spirit around the world. So you kind of create this object, the subtle spyglass, that lets you kind of see the true nature of these kind of this like raven that you're kind of chasing around the world. So you're going to a bunch of different locations. You'll find a raven there. You'll use your spyglass. And the spirit will reveal itself and run away. And so you're kind of chasing it down throughout the world until you finally catch it. Then in Collection 4, you are taming your spirit. You're sort of doing, there's two things that you're doing in Collection 4. You're taming the spirit, showing it your power, getting blessings from Raven, and showing it how things from the mists can come and live in the corporeal world. And then at the same time, you are getting a raven egg, and some people from who play Guild Wars 1 might recognize this a little bit, but you get a raven egg, and you bless the egg. Raven blesses the egg.
I knew that. I was sitting here listening to you going, wait a minute.
You treat the egg, and you build an incubation box for the egg, and you hatch your egg. And then,
thank you.
I couldn't help it.
It was a black moa the whole time.
I couldn't help it. The Black Moa Chick quest line in Guild Wars 1 was one of the favorite things that I had ever done. So.
It was so much fun. If you didn't play Guild Wars 1, there was this huge multi-continent scavenger
to
hunt
all the games
to hatch this, to get the egg and hatch this baby moa, and that
mini pet.
was it was a mini pet that you actually got to have, and I was so proud when I got that thing.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I love that thing. So
this
here
is a good callback.
You're going to do a similar thing. Then once your raven is hatched, you're going to feed it. You're going to teach it how to fly. You're going to get it ready to become a vessel for the spirit, and eventually meld the two together. So that's the story of Nevermore.
So I deliberately did not know Nevermore's story. I wanted to be surprised by something today. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You should be really, really proud.
Oh, thanks. So I couldn't help but I had to work on Nevermore myself.
There's some nostalgia speaking here too.
There is, and there's even more. So I know people are wondering why we chose these particular legendaries to start with. For both the axe and the pistol, it was kind of a situation where the artist who worked on them plays the game a whole lot, loves the game, and was inspired to make them. And so he kind of just did it and said, "Hey, look what I made! Isn't it awesome?" I was like, "Oh my god, it's so awesome!"
And Lindsay said, "Yes, yes, it is.
It's super awesome." But with Nevermore, there was always this kind of running gag from Guild Wars 1 of the Raven Staff being just the most prolific rare drop. So like half the time you'd get a rare drop, you'd be like, oh look, it's another Raven Staff or a Ram's Hammer. Raven Staff or a Ram's Hammer.
Wow.
All the time, right? You're just always and so like nobody cared about this skin, even though the Raven Staff was actually a pretty cool weapon.
It was. I mean, I liked it so much I had like 100 of them.
I think a lot of people got a good 100 of them. We always talked about how wouldn't it be funny if in Guild Wars 2 the Raven Staff is actually legendary.
It's like this super desirable thing.
yeah, exactly. That just made me giggle like really hard. So after we shipped Guild Wars 2, I kind of put a bug in Dave Beetlestone's ear, like, "Hey, Dave, it'd be really cool if we had a legendary Raven Staff." And he laughed. Of course, Dave plays our game, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. And then they made this for me. So
how on earth did I not make that connection until now? I'm dying. That's amazing.
So in fact, the Tier 3 precursor is actually called the Raven Staff because I couldn't help it. I couldn't help myself.
You can't do this without putting the actual Raven Staff in there. That is too funny.
Yeah. So we've got a couple treats for people today, a few little previews.
Yeah, there's a little. You got a
one
little
of
something
them,
right here.
people may notice my shoulder is pretty rad.
I like it.
That is the specialization
How do I get it?
for Tempest. It is a reward for the Tempest.
It
It's
looks
called
good.
the Tempest Leap.
I want to back up just one sec because I don't know, I just didn't realize this. The name Nevermore came from the Edgar Allan Poe poem, and not
Perhaps.
everybody knew that. I mean, not everybody caught that reference because it's not necessarily something that you're made to read in every school
Sure,
system
yeah.
around the world. So I was looking at Reddit the other day, and somebody was like, "You guys, I found out where the name Nevermore came from."
Oh, yeah.
And a couple people came in going, "How did you not know that?"
Yeah.
And then half the thread came back in going, "No, you don't understand that this isn't in every school ever."
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that is.
I didn't come up with the name. It was suggested to me, and when it was one of those instant things where I was like, oh, yeah,
we're settled.
obviously, yeah.
This is what it has to be.
That is clearly what it's got to be. I've got, what else do I have? I have a list of things that I want to cover.
Yeah.
I am going to switch over to another character real quick. Actually, first let me show you guys it in here.
I'm trying to be patient because I know what I want you to show, and I know it's on your list.
Do what I say. Do what I say. Okay, maybe not.
She looks so good.
Why? Why won't you do it?
You're in combat.
Oh, I'm in combat. Duh, Lindsay.
When you get out of combat,
please.
well, it doesn't feel like combat. You're just beating on a training dummy.
I know, right?
Once you are out of combat, you can show us a pretty neat thing.
There we go. I just love how the Raven, it took a lot of work to get that Raven to always orient up. By the way, all these people saying that they can't wait to see the Raven like at a 90-degree angle or something. No, we got that covered.
It turns out you thought of that.
Yeah, we did. Nice. There she is. Love it.
She looks fantastic.
Love it.
Yeah, so the Raven is not going to just flail around sideways and upside down.
No, it did
out we
for a
did
while.
think of that. Do you have screenshots of that I can see later? Because that would be great.
Probably not, actually.
Oh, man.
So
It took a lot to get this
Oh
the
yeah,
right way.
yeah, totally. And you know, the effects artists have been working on this stuff for a while, and you know, a lot of people had found this guy. I'm surprised they didn't. We didn't slip out the pistol and the axe because we've had those for just about as long.
Yeah,
as,
that was
as the
kind of
staff.
funny. Somebody asked me about the Raven staff at PAX Prime this year, I think, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that's all you found. Great.
Yeah. So I saw some people saying that they didn't think the Raven staff or Nevermore was dark enough for a Necro, to which I say, challenge accepted.
You did a good job. I'm very happy with this.
So here,
She looks great.
I threw this together late last night. Also kind of previewing a couple of our armor skins from Heart of Thorns. I think she's pretty badass.
She looks good.
And she still looks pretty great.
I'm still stuck on people saying that a staff with a literal raven sitting on it is not.
I know. When I was
It's
like,
not a dove.
No. I'm super biased, of course.
It's got like a pink bow
like
on
I've
it or
said,
something.
I really love Nevermore. One thing that I think also really well supports this is check out how nicely the
Whoa.
sight attaches.
All right, that works
Come on,
really
guys.
well.
Come on.
It looks good. It works.
Let's see. What else do I need to cover? Oh, okay. So there's a couple tough questions that I'll hit right now while you guys just observe my sweet necro.
Yes, please.
So one,
Okay.
you guys noticed that I said full set of 16 weapons.
Why 16, Lindsay? Why, Lindsay?
That was not a slip. I did that on purpose. So I'm here to confirm that we are not going to be making more underwater legendary weapons. We're going to stick with the above ground, on land weapons.
Thank you for confirming.
You heard it here. Another thing that I've seen come up a few times is questions about the Gift of Exploration and the Gift of Fortune not being used in the new legendary recipes.
Okay, so what if you made the Gift of Fortune and you've been hoarding it all this time?
And I know there are people out there who have kind of stockpiled some Gifts of Fortune, preparing for new legendaries coming out. So our plan for that is, first before I get to that, let me just tell you what we're doing with the Gift of Exploration. So the Gift of Exploration is for getting world complete in Central Tyria. We are not using it in new legendaries. If you went and got world complete a bunch of times, hoping you would be able to use this on new legendaries, you're kind of out of luck. We're not really going to be doing anything to bridge that gap. These legendaries are about mastering the content they're associated with, and the Central Tyrian, the Set 1 legendaries are about mastering Central Tyria. Set 2 is about Heart of Thorns. You do go into Central Tyria quite a bit. It is a huge part of our game, obviously. But we're not going to be requiring you map complete or world complete Central Tyria. We are requiring that you'll map complete the maps associated with Heart of Thorns. We just don't think it's... it may seem like, well, why not just include it as well? Like, include Central Tyria as well. We did think about that and ultimately came to the conclusion that it wasn't going to be fair down the line or fun for people. Once they've gotten a few legendaries, say Set 5 comes out, and now they have to go world complete again in Central Tyria for every single legendary moving forward. We just didn't think that was going to be fun. It's going to, doing it a few times is great, but like once you're not going to want to do it 10 times just because you wanted 10 weapons.
Yeah, it's not a good thing in the long run.
Yeah. We, however, feel differently about Gift of Fortune. Many of the components in Gift of Fortune are used in the new Mystic Tribute that's used for the new legendaries. And we do, it's so expensive to put together the Gift of Fortune. And since so many of those components are used in both, we felt it was important to let you get those back. So we're going to be adding, not with Heart of Thorns ship, but after ship, we'll be adding salvage tables to the Gift of Fortune so that you'll be able to salvage your Gift of Fortune and get back all of the base materials so you could put those towards the Mystic Tribute and be able to use it in a new legendary.
Okay, so this part is super important. When you salvage it, it's not a chance that you'll get crap or you might
you're
get a good
kind
thing.
of just unpacking your gift.
You get everything. Yeah, you're breaking it back down into exactly what you put into it.
Yes.
You get all your stuff back.
Yes.
That felt important to me.
Yeah, it felt important to me too. I did think, like, should there be, should we skim off a little as a cost? And I just didn't think that was cool.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so relieved. I'm so glad.
So I really wanted to make sure to let people know about that. I've seen people being sad about having, quite a few Gifts of Fortune. I don't know how you managed to get up all the money for them.
I am super impressed.
I am very impressed.
Yeah.
So
I have my one sad little Gift of Fortune sitting over there.
Yeah. I thought it was really important for us to address that, and I wanted to be able to tell people about it here.
Yay.
So,
awesome.
Okay, now I have one more little surprise.
Yes. I have been pestering poor Lindsay about this. It's like, what? You walked in the room, I was like, can we show it yet?
Yeah, I know. Can we do it first? Are we going to do it first? No, we're not going to do it first, Ruby.
I really like it, okay?
I know you do.
All right, let me see.
Actually, you know what? Before I do that...
No.
There is one quick thing that I just wanted to show. A lot of people were kind of concerned about that first blog post where I showed a screenshot of the Moot collection. I had all placeholder icons in it, but those placeholders included some very, very very expensive items. And people got really worried that we were going to be asking them to get those very expensive items. And we're not. See, I just want to show you guys, look, this is the actual final collection.
What were some of the placeholder icons?
It had like the Lissa back piece and the preserved queen bee, right? I'm like, no, of course I'm not going to make people get the queen bee for this.
Yeah.
Like, really? No, of course not. No.
It's just mean.
I just needed something. It was probably the honey pot ant placeholder.
Ooh.
But yes, this is the actual collection. So I just wanted to quickly show that. And then,
yay, Night Fury.
Night Fury. This is a shoulder piece, an Ascended shoulder piece that you will be able to get in Halloween. You're going to have to work for it. It's not going to be easy.
You're not just going to give me an Ascended for
No.
London
And really all it is a cloud of bats that follow you
Bats
around.
everywhere.
Bats.
I love it. So
This was actually an Isaiah Cartwright special. He had to mess around with things quite a bit to get it all nice and pretty.
we could put that with your bat sword and other bat things that I can't talk
And
about
it
yet.
looks great with her here. Like, look at that.
Not dark enough for a necro.
Not dark enough for a necro. So yeah, Izzy's actually put in some late nights working on Halloween, trying to get it.
Kind of lived here.
Yeah.
And saved Halloween.
Yeah, he did a little bit. We were really busy working on Heart of Thorns, really, really busy working on Heart of Thorns, and we just didn't know how we were going to get to doing some of the cool stuff that we wanted to do for Halloween. And Izzy made it happen. He really made it happen.
Yeah.
So with help from Mike Z and Nate Johnson,
he had
and various other support people like QA and Effects helped him troubleshoot this guy. And
you guys are gonna like Halloween.
Yeah. We've got some really nice chase items in Halloween this year. I'm particularly pleased with this guy.
So when you told me that we would be able to show these off today, I have made an enormous point, and I've been checking out the Halloween stuff. I made an enormous point of not looking at this one. So this is the first time I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were that excited?
I like it. It turns out, though, I love our game.
Oh, yeah, I know how that is. Oh, man. It's bad how many of these Legendaries I want to get, or at least get the precursor. We just had so much fun designing this stuff. Like some of the best brainstorms that I've had in my career, including we did one offsite all day with a bunch of people, where we just like locked ourselves in a conference room all day long and just talked about what we wanted this thing to be like, this journey to be like. But yeah, we've come out of these brainstorms just like laughing or just being excited, like really jazzed about what we were talking about building. So, I mean, there's collections that it's like, I don't even want Quip, but the stuff you're doing in Quip is hilarious, so I might just do it anyway.
I'm sorry, that was an awful face. I'm not a fan
of Quip.
Sorry.
Some people love it, some people hate it.
It has to be your thing.
Yeah. It's definitely not my. I mean, I don't have any character that does pistol, but I am definitely interested in some of that stuff. And like the minstrel, like I like some of the stuff that I do with the minstrel, so I might even just have to do that. But yeah,
I think my problem with like Quip is that my thief was pistol way back when. And she's like my serious character.
Yeah, I know, and that was kind of the problem a lot of people have with it.
That too. And I'm looking at her going, well, she's got dual pistols and a short,
yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, and we've definitely taken that into consideration, like moving forward. Wanting to make sure that there are some serious legendaries for weapon types that currently have very silly ones.
But now I have hope for my thief.
Yeah, there you go.
I have hope.
Exactly.
So come on, Dara, be proud of me.
But yeah,
that's fantastic.
This has been a really great project. It was a buttload of work, a lot of really late nights, and a lot of weekends to make this stuff as cool as it is. Yeah. I'm really, really proud of it. I'm really proud of my team, how hard we all worked to get this done and get it in for hot. I think you guys are going to be really happy with it.
I cannot overstate, and I know I brag on our devs so much, I cannot overstate how hard these guys have worked to make this happen, and I am in awe. So thank you very much. You guys have pulled off miracles.
Yeah.
And it looks so good.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Yeah. They really came out great.
All right, so those are our 3 new legendaries. We have like gone for a super long time. We still have one more thing to talk about here with you guys. This next segment that we're doing, I don't know. I'm scared to give away too much, but some people have guessed it. Did you see?
No, I didn't.
I'll have to show you. There's a Reddit thread where people guessed. So, yeah. We're going to wrap up with Legendaries, and we're going to come back with something else for you guys. So, thank you, Lindsay.
So vague.
We'll be back in a couple minutes. I really like that song. I really like that video. Thank you, Suck It Love, and thank you for... That's a weird thing to say. Thank you for letting... Thank you for letting us use your music. I really appreciate it. All right, so Joel is with us. Joel is one of our gameplay programmers and has been...
I'm not nervous.
You're fine.
I'll be fine.
You guys tell him it's fine.
We're all fine here.
At the end of this, apparently someone's going to give you a baby. So
or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange.
The person who promised their firstborn is
The pact
so
is
happy
sealed.
right now because they know. Oh, dear. All right, so Joel has been working on something all sneaky in the background. Tell us why first.
Yeah, so, I guess we should start with a little preamble. So, Guild Wars 2 is an action RPG, right? You would describe it as an action RPG. And if you look at other action games, look at, like Tomb Raider, or even call it Skyrim as an action RPG. Or you look more towards, even shooters have sort of those action elements, like a Mass Effect or something like that.
Right.
And you compare it to how our game plays. It's similar. We have a lot of similar elements, but there are a few things that are off. And
we're missing some things.
Well, a little. And so if you look at how specifically today, I'm going to talk about how our control scheme works. And if you look at ours, it's more derived from. You can go back to Guild Wars 1. 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago, and then you go further, you look at sort of the history of that, you go back, I was playing Baldur's Gate recently, just for the lulz. Oh my god, that game. But it's...
If you start talking about that, I'm going to be really mad, because that is so not why we're here. So
let's not do that. No,
it plays differently.
Yeah, so if you look at how those kind of games work, it's more of a, you select a unit, and you issue them orders, and you say, I'd like you to move here, I'd like you to attack here, that kind of thing. Whereas an action game, the concept is more, you don't have to issue the order, you just do the thing and it does it. Even if under the hood it all works the same, the perception's different, right?
Right.
But if you look at how Guild Wars 1 sort of worked, it was still more of I would like you to walk here, you click on spot on the ground, I'd like you to move here.
And then Guild Wars... here, look at this thing, target it.
Yeah, and so and if you need to do something behind you, you turn the camera, and then you do the thing, and then you turn the camera, and you do the thing.
Yeah.
And that has carried forward into Guild Wars 2, where we still have this, you turn the camera and you act, and you turn the camera and you act. Even though the game is trying to be more like an action game where you just kind of act in the direction you're looking all the time.
So would it be cool if we had some sort of action cam?
Well, you think so, right?
See how I did that?
Yeah, nice. And so, anyway, it didn't really occur to me that this was something that was kind of missing in the game until I played some other games, other MMORPGs.
You're allowed. It's okay.
Am I? Am I allowed to play other MMOs?
You are. We don't throw you off the roof for that.
Right. So, can I name names?
You must.
I don't have to.
Okay. I want to hear about this action. I want to hear about
I know you do. But I'm just trying to. I'm trying to lay some groundwork here. But anyways, I was playing them. And I was hold on. Why don't we do this? Why aren't we doing this? Because I wouldn't put up with this in a shooter, for example.
But that would be super funny.
And it's a little weird. And so players have sort of made do so far. But they're okay, well, I still want it to play like an action game. So I'll just always keep camera hold down right mouse button. And it gets you about what you want, but it's a little kludgy. And so really what this comes down to is that extra degree of freedom you've got on the mouse, where you can move the mouse around and select stuff. It really isn't necessary. You don't need it.
We can do that.
And so that really is like the key dividing difference. Like that is what we're missing to go all the way into being an action game. So
here's the thing.
So here we go.
Okay,
so I did some work, some things.
You've been working on this for a long time.
So we can go to the history of it now, or I can show it now.
Let's see it.
Let's
take a look.
All right, so
because she just seems amazing.
Are we? I have no idea of knowing what
this right here is what you're looking at.
There we go.
The bottom left. All right, so what does it do?
All right,
How
so
is this making it better for me?
First off, just show you the thing. So in controls, you probably haven't noticed because it hasn't been in there. There's this magical action camera. I think Colin named it. I'm not sure. If you didn't name it, Colin, I'm still giving you credit. And what is action camera? Well, it's an action game. It is a camera mode suited for actioning. So I've set it to left alt, as we've seen it in other games. And you push the magic button, hang on to your butts, and no fingers. Oh, cool. If you notice, there's a little dot in the middle of the screen.
It's not a snowflake.
That is a crosshair. And it is a dot because this came from our one of our art leads, Luke Knocker. He's like,
Luke, yeah.
Yeah, Luke, right. And we go as far back as I go in this company. And he's like, I really like having a very minimal targeting thing. I didn't really have any reason to say no, so it's a dot.
That works. And I noticed when you panned over something that you can hit.
We'll get there.
No, I want to see all the things right at the same time.
We'll get there. Okay, so the basic stuff, right? So you've got free control, no fingers. I think yeah. So, and move around, and as this is an action game, and we would like to emphasize freedom of motion, you run at full mobility in all directions, which is different. Like if you turn it off, you notice you got this slower animations, but we don't need that. So it's like you've turned the camera sort of in free cam, and they're looking behind you, except you're not. You're just holding back. All right. So we have this crosshair. You're like, okay, well, that's nice. What does it do? And this sort of segues into, not really segues, the wrong word, but sort of underlines the fact that the sort of camera controlling part of it took me like a week. I did that like a year ago. And it was just sort of the first prototype, like, I wonder if I could do this, because I really would like to have this in the game. And we don't have this.
Pause and show you this from chat. You haven't even
started
it yet.
You're welcome. There's a lot more to come.
Zaralai, we're glad you're happy.
Yeah. Anyway, so the sort of camera side of it is actually very simple. Targeting is actually where things get really complicated and where I've spent most of my time. And I've just sort of been working on this, just for reference. This has just been sort of a background project I've been working on since last October. And you're just coming in on the weekends. Many Sundays have died, bringing us these features. And it's great. Okay, so I see a deer. So here's how it works. There are 4 states on the crosshair. So we have nothing. There's a dude under your crosshair who could be a target. You get closer. Actually, let's switch ones. There we go. There's a dude under your crosshair, and this little circle means, and if you use a skill, it's going to target that guy. And then the final state, where it rotates, says, all right, there's a dude under your crosshair. It's too dark. Let's make it. There we go.
Hey, look at that.
And then this means there's a dude under your crosshair, and he's in range of skill 1. That'll be significant in a moment. Skill 1 is special. All right. Furthermore, attacks happen toward the crosshair. So if you don't have a guy targeted, you go, pew. Wow, that is very hard to see. I shoot over a bridge. Nope. All right, let's find something like lighter. Why are the shots blue? Why would you do this? All right, well, anyway, that's disappointing. Yeah, so he's shooting right at the crosshair.
Hey, you just found a thing to work on.
No. That's just effects. It's not my problem. Anyway, but you can see the arrow itself, though. It's going like right at the crosshair. And also, astute observers may have noticed, I'm hitting left click to fire that. I don't have to hit 1. 1 also works, but I don't have to. Because left click now, we're not using it for any camera controls. It's like, fine, it's skill 1 now. Just like any shooter you're used to. Let's see. Yeah, works with melee weapons. Swing. Swing the direction. And then we can go you watch the crosshair rotate. That's actually pretty hard to see on that background, but and you swing away. And you guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bambi. I just killed your mother. That's harsh. It's harsh. All right.
You don't even sound a little bit sorry.
Not really. Okay. I can just spawn more. It's the magic of video games. All right. So, anyway, I can show. Let's see. What should we talk about next?
So.
What should we talk about next?
Skill retargeting?
No, that's way too soon.
Then don't ask me.
Yeah. Let's not ask you about that.
Because this is what I have next on my list.
I see. All right. So
Here, you know what? See this. Go with what you feel led.
All right. Well, actually, I'm just going to take a lot of it then. So there are a lot of things where when I was setting this, I was like, this specific thing, let's not look at that because there's... That was me. That was me hitting a button. I don't want to kill moose. People kill moose at the time. All right. So there are a couple things when I was doing this. I was like, all right, what is it that annoys me about targeting a lot right now? So there's a couple of them. So first off, let's go find a deer. Hello, deer. There you go. Okay, so here's one thing that annoys me. When you are not using this action camera, it is sometimes very hard to know whether you are going to use a skill on the guy or not. Like, I can do this. Probably, I'm going to shoot that deer. Yep. You're like, why did I shoot the deer? Because he was, like, way over there in this group. And I didn't know that ahead of time that I'd be shooting him. And now I shot him, and now he's fighting me, and I don't want to. It's especially bad with movement skills. So, like, skill 3, for example, it is very frustrating when there's a guy right over there, and you're like, I'd like to go that way. And he goes, no, I think you want to go this way, actually. And so a lot of people are like, okay, well, I'll just turn off auto-targeting because it's really frustrating, and I'll just live with it. And that's too bad, because auto-targeting can make your life a lot easier. So now what you know is, okay, well, if there's a circle, there we go. If there's a circle, then I'm going to use a skill on him. If there's not, I'm not going to use a skill on him. I'm just going to go that way. So at any point, you know exactly what your skill's going to do. You don't have to worry about it. You just know. It's also nice. There's another situation I run into a lot where, like, I'll lock a guy. Let's grab this guy. And they're like, you know what? There's a dude over here, and I forget I have this guy locked. Where's the dude? Who made dude over here? Dude. I'm clicking buttons. Buttons. No. And where's dude over here? There's dude over here. And, like, I sure would like to fight this guy. But this guy's like, no. You want to fight me. But I want to fight that. Stop! I'll destroy you. I will kill your entire family. All right. Anyway. All right.
Everybody in the room just lost it.
Sorry. Anyway, so...
But the thing is, he is.
Yeah, so...
He's doing exactly
so what I want to do is I want to say, all right, I got this guy locked, but I want to fight somebody over this way.
Dara's like crying back here.
And so now I know. If nothing is marked, then I'm not going to attack anybody. If that guy is marked, I'm going to attack that guy. You can see like he's got a little circle under his feet. So even though that's the guy that's locked, I'm going to attack that guy. See? Pew, pew, pew. There it goes. Yeah, shooting the moose. Shoot the moose. Shoot the moose more. Fabulous dragon purple right there.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen that yet. All right. Moose is dead. Mission accomplished. So it's just a couple, like, as I was doing this, I was like, well, okay, so what annoys me? How can I fix it? How can I make it better? So that's good. Anyway. But yeah, and so one of the key things, which people may guess, like, I wonder why this is important, is the shots do land right where I'm pointing on the ground. And I wonder why we might want such a feature, what sort of content we might make.
Tell us, Joel. Why?
Well, I mean, I can leave it up to people's imaginations.
That would be more fun.
It would be more fun, actually. Let's do that. Maybe something to look forward to. It's a possibility. Okay.
Okay, so after you threatened to kill their entire family, I couldn't resist, and I had to peek at chat. Give this man a raise and a pie and a hug. Oh, my God. It's like the best chat comment ever.
I'm glad they like me. All right. So, a couple more things. So, right-click. You're not using it for turn the camera anymore. I spent a while trying to figure out what to use right-click for. So, left-click's very easy, right? That's skill 1. It's done. That's your auto-attack. It's like any shooter, it's just shoot, right? But right-click's a little weird. In some games, it's another skill. Mm-hmm. In some games, it's like it's a zoom. Like a lot of shooters, it's a zoom, which we don't really do. And so we're like, well, what do we do? And so it's like, okay, well, I can try making it skill 2. And that works for some weapons. But for others, it's kind of weird. It's not like really a secondary fire. It's just some completely arbitrary skill. And so I was asking around for opinions. I got an opinion from, I don't know if I want to call him out on stream, somebody in programming. And he was like, you know what would be cool? If right-click locked your target. Because there really isn't a great way. I mean, there's no like great way to lock the dude under your crosshair. He's like, I want that guy over there.
Right.
Boom. So right-click now locks him. Right-click again will clear him if he's not under your crosshair at the time.
Okay.
So why would you lock the target? Why does this matter? Because I'm clearly using other target, right? Like, why would I need to do any of these things? Just bloop, across there. That's fine. A bear or something. Surely there are bears around. Little rabbit. Rabbits do. Hello, rabbit. And so, okay, a couple things. So there's a little subtle thing about targeting where you can see where it actually goes live. This rabbit's good. It's not moving. And it goes, okay, right around here-ish is where it holds. But actually, you're much faster than I thought you were. All right. If I lock a guy, it's much more generous. It'll still drop him eventually, but it takes longer, and you get a more generous circle arm. So it's like, I mostly want to fight this guy, but I'm going to be like flailing around in combat. Probably not the rabbit, but like someone else who's a little tougher.
Might be one of those really dangerous rabbits.
Sure. It might be helpful to lock the target, or more accurately, like if there are a bunch of guys, I want that guy in the middle, that dude specifically. Then you could lock them, and most of your attacks are going to end up on that guy because he's going to be the one that's picked out of all the hover targets. Also, that's a good point. So auto targeting has this sort of auto targeting has this kind of stigma. A lot of players are like, this is awful. I think it mostly comes from the movement skill thing, or just like picking guys behind you, kind of weird. Just going around in circles. It's be entertaining. And so
it already is so much.
Yeah, and so auto targeting does work differently. If you are using this action camera mode, auto targeting it's basically like mouse hover. It's heavily modified, but it is basically mouse hover. Be like if I was doing this. Oh, I'm so slow. So it's different. It's better for realsies, guys. You can use it. It's safe. There's a bear. Hello. He's a bear. He's a bear, all right. And then I don't really need to fight a bear. Point is, so yeah, you can lock a guy and make it so that he has higher priority in a pile of bodies if you need. Or you can I just want to keep tabs on this guy. So it's like I like to keep tabs on the salmon while I'm running around, doing things. And so you will still target other stuff, like this deer. I'll shoot the deer, but I'm still watching this. There we go. There's my mouse pointer. That's what I wanted. All right. So that's that part of it. Okay, but then there are going to be people like, that's nice. But what I'd really like to do is play Skyrim again, especially like at the nice Timberline Falls setting here. And like I just want to play Skyrim. So Skyrim does not really have auto targeting. So what we do is just turn it off. And now, is it really that fun? I'm not really trying here, but
You're just naturally incredible.
all right, cool. That's reassuring. I was a little worried. And so now nothing locks, right? We don't get this like target thing. So when it buzzes past this deer, boom. Like be afraid, deer. I'm not actually hitting the deer.
The deer's like, whatever.
It's like I don't.
You've killed my entire family. I have nothing left to live for.
What do you expect from a deer? Like, I mean, they're deer. But what you can do is so this came from like so John Peters liked this feature a lot back before he betrayed us and ran away. Traitor.
Do you need a moment?
That's fine. And so what he liked to do is he liked to play without targeting off, but he would lock targets. And so he's like, I want this guy, and so you can lock him, and then it'll do all the normal targeting stuff. But if you don't lock him, it won't. So that's another. If you want to play that way, go for it.
I like it.
That's you want to play first person? Absolutely, you can do that too. Pew. Pew.
You're in serious trouble with this deer.
So nonchalant about it. Oh, there we go. Too late.
He's like, oh, hey, I'm on fire.
All right. So, I think that's the gist of it. There's not a whole lot more on
I feel like that's tons.
It's a lot. I'm sorry, Dolphy. And so yeah, it's one of those things where I have been working on this a long time. And there's more. I touched the mic. I should not touch the mic. Sorry.
I'll slap your hand away next time.
Yeah, didn't even think about it.
You're too quick.
And there have been features that have gone in that have sort of hinted at it. Honestly, the strings have been in the DAT file for a long time.
You guys have been playing with this and you just didn't realize.
Something like that. Either Shaman is a saint or he just didn't notice, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and just say, yeah, I know what this is, and I just won't tell anybody. So thanks, Shaman.
So what did you put in
and so
the game already?
So features that have been visible, though. So camera offsets. Those are mine. These went back in March. So you have this horizontal position. It's just like, that's weird. Why would you want a horizontal position? It's like, well, because I want to do over-the-shoulder crosshair thing. That reminds me of another thing I want to show. Yeah, so you notice I'm not centered. And that's because I sure like being able to do this. It's kind of nice. It's a lot of third-person shooters, and you sit over the shoulders. And this vertical offset, if you notice, as I zoom out, it's kind of and originally that was just going to be for action camera stuff. And I need, so it's just a thing that most people don't think about. I keep reminding myself of stuff I want to show, too. If I want to target something ahead of me, and I'm looking down, it is bad news if the crosshair just stays like this. Because I'm going to shoot at my feet. I'm not going to be able to hit anything in front of me. So what you need is you need to gain some distance. Oh, this is going to ruin it, but like this distance here is critical.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways that's accomplished is you do this, set this vertical position far, and you just crank that as high as you're comfortable with. And so at the time, in March, it just looked like, okay, well, all we're trying to do is get the camera up off the ground. So as you zoom out, you don't end up with this super low angle.
Right. You're just looking at the side of that rock.
Let me turn it off. There we go. That. We don't want that. Because you get this like really stretched textures when you're close to the ground. It doesn't look very good. So what we want is that. Because really what we care about what's up here and not what's down here. So this gives you a lot more usable space up here. So that was the justification for it at the time. But secretly, it was actually an action camera feature that just nobody knew. All right. There have been some leaks, but I guess that's like the next segment. So let's not do that. I'm figuring this out as I go. It's very extemporaneous. A couple other things. People are like, okay, ground targeted skills. How do they work? Like, well, it's very simple. They go right where your crosshair goes. There we go. Also, that is a very interesting ground targeting marker. You know they did that. And
surprise!
There it is. Also,
it's all good.
The lock max range ground target thing, that's also mine. You're welcome. But that was also largely intended for an action camera kind of thing, where your mouse, you can't easily move your mouse up to specific spots. It's like, fine, we'll just like have it at max range. It'll be good. I guess I can actually shoot that. It's not quite the head of mine. This one I think is just a normal ground target marker. Pew, pew, pew.
Hey.
Wow. Does the wow. All right. What else? Oh, yes. Okay. So, a couple more things. So, people are like, that's great, but what if I don't have this? What if I don't want to bind alt or some convenient key to this? I just kind of want to turn it on and leave it. I don't want to deal with other stuff, but I still would like to access, I don't know, my inventory, my friends list, for example.
Right.
My real-world commentary. I have no friends. It's very sad. It's harsh. This game is just harsh, man. You're like, okay. So if you notice, when I brought that up, it automatically turned off my camera, and when I closed it, camera mode came back. I didn't have to do anything else.
Perfect.
And so basically, it's looking for any dialogues that pop up, most dialogues that pop up, and it'll shut it off. But it remembers which ones were active the last time you turned the camera on, so I can go like, I'd like to have my friends list up, but I still like to play with this camera mode on. Because, I don't know, reasons.
Because
I don't know.
Because you want to.
I'm not here to judge too much. Yeah. So, and then I can bring up another dialogue on top of it. I don't think I want to open my inventory because it's insane. Okay, we can do it real fast. Wow, what is this?
Oh, clean that up.
This is what happens when you just let's just do the dev command. It gives you everything, and it gives you everything.
Yeah, that's...
All right, anyway. But yeah, so if you notice, when I brought that up, I turned it off, controls, and then when I closed it, I don't know what happened. We'll pretend that didn't happen. And I'll go figure that out.
We can edit it out like we're going to edit out Josh's stuff later.
This is fine. We're all fine here now. How are you?
I am so great right now.
Good. All right. I think that covers all the action camera stuff, though.
I think they like
But
it.
I'm not done.
Nope,
there's more. I've been doing this a long time. I've been waiting to talk about this for basically a year.
I'm like looking down at my notes going, but what about...
I've
go
been
ahead.
trying to ship this stuff for a long time.
You've put in a lot on this.
A lot of hours.
So what's the more?
All right, so is that really the next thing? So soon. All right. Well, in that case, I know how I set this up. I'm gonna go switch characters. I don't know how we.
All right. Yep. This is the next thing, and this is the one that is going to make my life better.
Yeah.
Last
all right.
face melt.
So engineer characters. Like I use engineers, and this sounds great and all. But I use grenades, and grenades are ground targeted, or mortars in this case. And that's nice, but you still got to click and fire, click and fire, click and fire. It's like, well, that's great and all, but it's really not that different from hitting one and one. Things haven't changed for anybody. Also, Quaggins are like fireworks, yeah. It's like fireworks are dangerous, kids. Should stay away.
There's water. It's fine.
Safe and sane rules. Man, I just shot one.
Look,
okay.
there's babies.
I know. They're invincible. It's fine. The babies cannot be harmed. So they're like, okay, but hold on. What if I was using instant grip targeting? Now what might happen? And the thing is, if you hold down left click, it just pushes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 for you, pretty much. And so you go like this. Explosions! Explosions! Yes! There we go.
I love that there's a Quaggin off to the right going, whoa.
Oh, fireworks, kids! Fireworks! So you're welcome, engineer players. Hopefully this makes your life just a little better. Because I played engineer for a little while and went, man, this really is actually really annoying. So there you go. That's really all I wanted to show. I mean, while we're here, flamethrowers also better. Just like fire. I mean, I named them this way for a reason. Some flamethrowers, same deal. It's kind of like, but the good one is the mortar pit, right? Just fire away. And I love instant ground targeting. I use it all the time. It's wonderful.
Because explosions.
Because explosions. Like I don't need to put up this push the button over and over again. It's just like it's fire. All right. That's engineers.
That was great.
But there's more. But wait.
There's more.
My Reaper of Lols.
You have
Diablo 3 humor.
You have the
It's
names.
an art in the programming department to come up with stupid pun names. It's a thing we do. So here we are back.
Wow, so much stuff just got
Oh my
explained.
God! Why did you attack me? I will end you. All right, fine. Ugh. So the thing about Reaper is they're really good. Really, really good. Just this is not related to features, but oh my gosh! So we've been doing playtesting, right?
A little bit, yes.
Just a bit. And I've been playing mostly Reaper, and holy crap, just really good. They just seem unfair. But you know what? They got okayed to ship, so here we go. It's happening. So Necro players, you're in a good place.
I'm just gonna go.
You're in a good place. Don't worry. All right. So
Don't worry.
But the thing is, staff. So how about that Necro staff? And so whenever I was playing Necro, I'd be like, staff seems like it's probably pretty good, but all the skills are ground targeted, and that's annoying because it's I can't be bothered to ground target stuff. And it's what? All I really want to do is just have the ground targeted skills cast on the dude I'm shooting at. That's really all I want. I don't need the precise aiming. I'm not playing PvP or something. Maybe I am playing PvP. I just don't care.
You don't even know at this point.
It doesn't. It's just get mostly there. So it's well, what if I did do that? And so there's this fancy little thing. Get to the last one. It's snap ground target to current target. And suddenly, who's going to be the unfortunate target? It will be. Oh, I have it turning on. I don't know, and the girls are like, I'm going to kill you.
I volunteer.
I'm going to kill you. All right, here we go. And so now it's okay, you know what? I'm just going to cast it there. And you just kind of fire away. I don't really need to aim that precisely. It just works.
Does anybody else just want to sit down and play the game with Joel for hours?
I don't know.
I kind of
hello,
do.
hello, target. All right, let's take this guy.
Did that just say you have helped the girl?
I
That seems like the opposite of help.
I'm helping. So, all right. So,
gosh. Okay.
so where this actually came from?
Yes.
This came from an alpha suggestion where. So I said it was my idea, but it really wasn't. It was actually from the alphas. They were like, okay, so action camera's great and all. We point at the dude and shoot at like his body, but then we have to use a ground target skill and we have to look down at his feet, especially like a tall target or something like giant or something, and. You have to do like this, and that's really annoying. Like, we're lazy. We don't want to deal with that. And so we're like, well, what if there's just an option to like put the ground target at the feet? It's like, that's a great idea. I would actually like that all the time. So this just kind of happened, and it's great. It's really nice. I'm so lazy, and it's wonderful. You just kind of and it does the things. But okay, so let's say this like I want this most of the time. But there are occasions, especially if you're using like Murder Kit or something with a really slow projectile, and it's like I actually do need to leave the target in this situation, but most of the time I want it on, and I don't want to have to open up the options menu and click this little checkbox before I go like in the middle of combat or something that's stupid. So there's another thing, this keybind here, snap ground target. What this actually does, this one on the bottom,
Finally.
is an inverse. So if I have it on normally, and I hold this thing down, it turns it off. If I have it off normally, and I hold this, it turns it on. And I bound the T because I couldn't figure out what key I wanted, but I just need to show it. So to show this, I should probably turn on actual ground, like some visible indicator. So let's see. So okay, see how it's locked to this guy? This is also pretty useful for just visualizing. Hello. So it's on this guy, and I hold down T. And now just let go. Boop. Here you go. That's all it does. Oh,
That's enough. And
over here.
okay,
Anyway.
yeah. So
So
ground targeting.
that's snap ground targeting. It's really nice. I use it all the time. I usually just like, let's like switch the staff and just kind of roll across the keyboards. And with all the
Do you have
marks.
to make the noise?
I do. It's very
Okay.
important.
All
That is what makes it stronger.
Oh dear. All right, I'm supposed to be keeping us on track, and I've been way too
Good luck.
entertained. It's like 1:40. So, and we have more stuff to talk about. So, what else you got?
Okay, so there is. Honestly, it's easy to talk about, but it's very complex internally.
Oh,
That way, Lady Sladrill. Her pet's Baragorn and Stegolas. It'll be great. I use Baragorn on live and Boromir. It's fantastic. It's what I do. Actually, my pet is gone. You're not. Oh, I see. Because we're probably not.
There he is. You're good.
It's the wrong pet. He's okay. Here's Baragorn. Let's run with Baragorn. The old classic Barbo stuff. And so we're like, okay. Secret discussions going on in the background here. And so we're like, okay. You know what would be nice?
I think Link's like, I have work to do.
Yeah, I know. It must suck.
Okay.
I would like to be able to say, I'm attacking a guy, and he dies, or something like that. Or I'm attacking a guy, and I don't actually want to attack that guy. Or I'm attacking a guy, and it's like, I actually want to attack that guy over there. And I should be able to just switch in the middle of the skill.
Yes.
That would be very nice. I would like that very much.
Because this thing died, and I.
Yeah, for example, I don't want to
left.
blow the rest of my skill on this, which like, and some frogs. Okay. Here's the final thing. Allow skill retargeting. Click the button. What did I even write there? Sure. Okay.
Okay, if you don't know, we're all in a lot
I don't
of
know.
trouble.
I wrote something. It's like, surely editing will change it. And it probably didn't. Like, it's fine. The words are fine. You're good at words. Which is lies, but I'm happy they believe it. So what will happen is, when a skill is going on, it has, like, for example, skill 2 is a great example. That's why I used the Ranger. It has a bunch of attacks that execute. And so what it'll say is, okay, at every point before they execute, we will, like, essentially reevaluate which target you would like. So the client says, I sure would like to shoot this guy now. And so the server says, okay, well, we're in the middle of this execute.
Right.
But next execute, I'm happy to change it for you. Unless it's early enough in the process that it's like, no, we can change it now. So sometimes it won't happen until the attack goes up. Sometimes it'll wait. So for example, let's see if I can do this on 2 frogs. Little frogs. So like, boop. It's like, no, this is starting this guy, and then on that guy, who is now dead. And my bear was like, I'll help you. It's like, should I? Like, you know what? I would like to
So confused.
shoot this green moa and then switch to the Etten because let's say he was actually almost dead, even though he's not. Like so. So like do the classic bear bow knockback. It's actually kind of appropriate here. And so basically, the reason why this is important for action camera specifically is see he died and like I want that one. And so you can still reclaim some of your skill. The reason why it's important for action camera is the expectation is that I'm going to fire basically at my crosshair. Mm-hmm. And so it is very strange when there's a guy off to the side who I start shooting at, and then I turn and look this way, but I'm still shooting that guy. Mm-hmm. And so if I say, you know what, I can actually switch to that guy now, problem solved. You don't have to like turn all targeting off. You don't have to just manually aim it. You can say, yeah, we'll like intelligently help you shoot the thing. And so it's easy to show. It's complicated internally, but it works.
You have a lot into this, so there's a lot to talk about.
There is many.
Plus, it was really, really fun. So
many stories.
It's all good.
I've forgotten what else we're going to talk about, but that is.
I think you covered everything. I don't have anything else.
I hope I covered everything. Expect there will be questions.
I have nothing else. Mostly right now, there's just wild praise. So, good job. All right, so
skills pay the bills.
That's actually.